doing, Charlie?
Just driving a f***ing van, innit?
Oh shit!
We've got the van! We've got the van!
The first time you saw us in this van, we had just bought it and was driving back from Cambridge, which was pretty cool, very exciting and stuff. And we've done a little tour, and I'll play the little tour for you.
You can barely see you, mate. You're like silhouette.
We're in the van, boy.
In the van.
We've got a gas stove, which is cool. Lights.
I'll just turn them off.
You just turn them on. I'm turning them back on. We've got lights all run off of like a leisure battery and stuff. So behind there we've got batteries. Diesel heater up in here. It's already like pre-installed and stuff. We're going to play about with these seats. Spare wheel's going to go on a roof rack, and we're going to put a ladder on the back and stuff. And then we've got the option for however we want to set these bunks up. This is going to get changed a little bit. We've started doing a couple of little bits inside before we filmed it. And then this side will end up being like storage shit. So we'll have like boxes here. I don't think we'll bother doing like full carpentry stuff because it's just easier to not do that. Rip all the vinyls off, and we're going to put our own like sign writing on it and stuff, like Odyssey project stuff, all like the company logos and that, which would be sick. Repaint all the wheels, just make it look tidy. But yeah, we've got like a couple of little changes and stuff to make. Nothing too drastic, like we're not going to be gutting the entire thing.
2 days later.
The back of the van is clear. So the process of building the van started by just doing a couple of easy jobs. Obviously, as we made that very aware, we was very offended by the exterior of the van, and a lot of that had to change. So the first thing that we did was literally rip all the vinyls off, take it back to basics. And the wheels were this horrible kind of rusty, grotty silver colour. So we rubbed them back, spray painted them all black. Didn't bother masking any of it off because, you know, I'm cool and who cares. We then started on the interior by pulling out the excess belted seats that were in the back because we needed that for an area basically to work and chill. And I don't really want to sit in actual passenger seats for a month. So we pulled all of those out and then gutted the rest of the van, which we didn't really initially plan to do, but couldn't figure out an easy way of basically putting the beds the way that we wanted them. So it all got pulled out and the van was entirely stripped back down to just being completely empty. Following that, we then recarpeted the top edges where the burn marks were and stuff and started to build the beds. We also flipped all the curtains around so the curtains were black instead of blue because, you know, who wants to sleep in NHS themed bedroom? And we didn't really film much of this process because it was a bit of a pain in the arse to film and do just with two of us. Then we went on to building the bench. The bench got moved about a couple of times because we ended up putting all the electrics in the bench. The yellow bar that was there as well was kind of a helpful thing to keep because it's a nice way to protect the little cabinet. So we pulled it out, spray painted it black. And, you know, the yellow was quite offensive once again. And then in the back, we've got the tool area there. You can see all the beds that are sort of being built at that point in time. Followed by, this is before we moved the bench over and carpeted it all and re-changed all the electrics. And then the electrics got changed, put into the bench. And I'm trimming everything up here at this point just to make it all look a bit more tidy and cozy because it was a bit grim. We then had Steve, who you can see doing all the vinyls. He went in, attacked all the electrics for us as well, and put in an extra battery, put in a load more USB ports and an inverter and stuff so we can power everything properly. And then we sign wrote the whole thing. There was a couple of other little jobs and stuff, but you'll kind of get the gist of that as we take you through this wonderful tour of Gertie, the support vehicle for the Odyssey project. Through the side door, as you come in, you've got the all-important bench. This will be where Pud and I probably spend a lot of time cuddling and crying up as we've had enough on the second day, and it's like, I want to go home. But we have got a nice little swivel bench here. This isn't here all the time. This is like what we can eat on, work on, everything like that. So I mean, it works. It does what it needs to do, which is pretty sick. Folds down and then just tucks away. So when we don't need it, instead of having a big spinning board of death, it can just tuck away in here. It's got a little strap that it sits behind so it doesn't fall over. And Bob's your uncle. This is the all important, because this is essentially just a coffee machine.
The biggest coffee machine you'll ever see.
You'll ever see. He's got a gas stove, which is really dirty at the moment because I've got foam everywhere inside the van, and the sink, which is currently filled up with random miscellaneous goods that I needed to put somewhere, including heat mats, a stapler, some webbing and some tape. In this part, this is kind of like more like our emergency stuff, so anything that we might need to grab quickly or is just going to be really accessible every day. So in here there's a high-vis vest and all of my various different running water bottles and hydration pieces of equipment, a couple of first aid kits, some lights, like just battery powered lights that we can replace as and when. This is all of my emergency like running stuff. I've been through this in a different video. I'll put that in the top corner if you want to look at that, but that's like what I carry when I run. And then all of our various different first aid kits and plasters and things like that. And that just tucks away nicely there, so it's out of the way but easily accessible. Under the front seat we've got some more kind of in case of things like tyre weld, a jump pack and some WD-40, and then some like spray adhesive. In the back, in the bench, under this thing, there's the hole.
Should we strip it all off?
Nah. So cooler, this is an inverter. It means we can like plug big things in and charge laptops and power satellites and things like that. And then a very confusing battery setup. I believe this thing, this black and red thing here, means it charges off of the van battery, and then that other little thing in the corner is what charges off of the solar panel. I can't remember what that's supposed to be, but it's something important. 2 batteries, all the various fuses, and then more fuses. Back to the big can.
Back to the big can.
We've got our various cushions for comfort. And then as well, we've just got baskets lined up everywhere, just because it's kind of like little things that are easy to grab. Is baby wipes. Why baby wipes, you ask? Because we didn't build a shower into the van, so we got baby wipes. So this means we can wipe our bottoms, wipe our armpits, wipe everything else that we might need to wipe. And then the other thing that's in this side is the Kazi. So there is a toilet and 9 toilet rolls there, which will last about 2 days. So obviously, as I say, first thing we built were the beds, and we took some rough measurements for a single mattress and kind of guessed, but we obviously needed it to be long enough that Pud could get underneath in his little coffin.
Oh,
so
no.
Along here there's a very bizarre curtain rail. Now you might be wondering about the curtain rail, however obviously we don't really have washing line or anything, and we're going to need to use towels and stuff, so it's basically to hang towels, hang like wet jackets, hang my running stuff from. Anything that we need to air out can just hang there, and it's pretty much out of the way, is going to not like get too intrusive or anything like that. So that's the reason for the curtain rail. Above each bed we've got some USB ports, so like a USB-C and a USB 3.0, just so that we can charge phones and stuff for the night time. Replaced all the speakers as well, because van speakers are notoriously shit, and these were no different. It sounded like I was putting my phone in a tin can and trying to play bangers. Back to the diesel heat that we spoke about. The vent here now does all the heating for the diesel heater, so all the heat comes out there and gives us nice warm toasty feet. Externally, pretty sound, like, you know, it's all sign written now, pretty beautiful. Odyssey project, Walking with a Wounded Stroke Association. Obviously, if this is your first time seeing any of these videos, we are raising money for Walking with a Wounded and the Stroke Association, and the Odyssey project is basically me trying to put my body in the bin for like a month and run from Land's End to John O'Groats, which is the entire length of the UK. And so this is the support vehicle. Probably should have said this in all the other takes, but I've only really just thought about it. The reason we have the van is actually so that we can live out of it while I'm running. And as I say, I'm running Land's End to John O'Groats, so the whole process should take about a month. It's 928 miles. I'm planning on covering 30 miles a day, and this is where we're going to be living, working, recording, editing, eating, everything in between while we're on that trip. Then obviously we've got my logo, Bosch. Gertie's officially a part of the family. Suck It, which is one of my companies, our vape company. thing, which is my energy drink company, and then obviously the YouTube and stuff as well. And then scattered across, we've got various different designs. Like this is all of the social medias. So if you're following on one of these and not any of the others, what are you doing, huh? What are you doing?